I welcome you all to yet another episode where I'm going to talk about post-colonial theory. Okay, theory, as you all know, are nothing but different explanation to tell why something has happened. So to understand post-colonial theory, we have to understand what is post-colonization. To understand post-colonization, we have to understand what is colonization in the first place. So understanding colonization becomes the prerequisite for us to understand what is post-colonial theory. Okay, so what is colonization? If I have to ask you, what do you understand by this terminology called colonization? Colonization, in a simple term, is a process of converting a country into a producer for the vested interest of the colonizer, or converting a country into a marketplace for the finished good of the colonizer. Okay, so colonizer are those countries who come to a new country and colonize them, make a colony, live there, try to dismantle or try to disrupt the present political structure of that country, exploit them and make them their slave. So this is, in a simple term, the process of colonization. Okay, and the third world countries are the countries which get exploited, which get colonized, like India, Pakistan, Japan, China, Australia, South America, Caribbean island. All these countries are considered to be the third world country. The reason for that being is that they are very poor, their democracy is not being flourished, they don't have the military power, because of which they don't have any other option but to get colonized, but to get exploited, and they have not participated in the Cold War, and those countries are called third world country, and they have literature and they have history. And to understand the literature and the history of the third world countries are called post-colonial theory. Post means after. So what happened after the colonization? What are the historical texts, literary texts that are written from 16th century, that is from the time of colonization till decolonization, and even now, that is the new colonization. So what are the texts that were prevalent, that were written? What were the ideas that were circulated through the text that get published from the colonization till neo colonization? Those, the study of those texts are called post-colonial theory. Okay, so some of the post-colonial texts, some of the pertinent, prevalent, seminal work which are need to be mentioned are Edward Said's Orientalism and Culture and Imperialism. So these two texts by Edward Said is important for us to understand post-colonial theory. So the theory that are being told in this text becomes a lens through which we are going to verify the reality, the claim that what is true and what is false. Through this post-colonial text, we are going to verify the things that are being told as true, whether it is actually true or not. So that we are going to know through this particular text, which I am going to tell, which I am going to detail, which I am going to repeat, which are that Edward Said, Culture and Imperialism, Orientalism, and Homike Bhabha, Nation and Narration, then Jhumpi Lahiri, The Other Words, and Emperor Writes Back. So these are few of the post-colonial texts. Okay, so Orientalism, no doubt, is the study of Orients, but it go beyond the academic study of Orients, as well as the people going to Orient, also the political bodies that try to maintain and prepare for the colonial expedition and a military expedition. Okay, so all these things covered under the syllabus of Orientalism. Okay, so Orientalism, in a very layman language, are not the people of Far East, but it is a characteristics, it is a qualities attributed to anyone who is not West. If you look at the life history or the biography or Edward Said, he was born in Jerusalem, and Palestine at that point of time was the colony of America. So he has done his education through English medium school, where he came across different writers like Grimsey, William Raymond, Michael Foucault, Claude Lévi-Strauss. Okay, all the theories that he have came across is nothing but an amalgamation or a concoctions of his own mind, as well as the ideas that has been transferred, transmitted, indoctrinated to him in the school through the books that he has consumed. Okay, so his binary is been taken from the Claude Lévi-Strauss, and Claude Lévi-Strauss has generated this term called binary in 1900. Anyway, so Orientalism is nothing but the characteristics, qualities which are being attributed to the East, and anyone who is not West have to bear those, afford those qualities. Orientalism is the process of making the East like complete opposite of West. So Orientalism is the process of making the East the antithesis of the West. Orientalism is the process of making the East a version that they are actually not. Orientalism is the process of making the East unsavory of the West, anathema of the West. Okay, so and these are nothing but stereotype. The reason why I'm calling stereotype is because Orientalism, if you go by the definition, are the characteristics attributed to the people of Far East. The people of Far East are the people of Pakistan, Japan, China, Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran. All these people are collectively considered to be East, but they have different culture, different language, different food habit, and all the people that I have mentioned are different from each other. So how can you put them in one box? They are different from each other and they are individual. There is a process of them to develop, grow and evolve. And when you put all the people in a one box, that is Orient, and deprive them to evolve, that means what you are telling, that Orients are incapable to become superior, they are incapable to become refined. So that it's a lie. So according to Edward Said, Orient is a lie. Orient doesn't exist. It is a constructed misrepresentation of the Orient through the text. So the text of 19th and 20th century at that point of time was being written as if it legitimized the colonization, and post-colonial theory tried to revisit, to reject, reread those texts that are considered to be the canon work. As for example, Joseph Conrad or Jane Austen or Charles Dickens, all these writers, what they have done, they have represented the East as something that they are actually not. And by reading that text, those texts become references to define that particular race, to define that particular country. Edward Said Orientalism methodology is being used by Chinua Achebe in claiming that Joseph Conrad Heart of Darkness is a racist work, where he put Africans in a position which are inferior, which are uncivilized, who are primitive. That itself makes the character of Africa not qualified to have a name. That is the implication of giving no name to the characters of Africa in the novel of Joseph Conrad, Heart of Darkness. Okay, so Chinua Achebe has vehemently claimed these texts to be not the proper references to use in order to identify or know the culture or the history of the African people. Similarly, Babake Homi also has used Edward Morgan Foster, The Passage to India, where he claimed that the description of India is actually not accurate. Edward Said has told that Jane Austen has not given proper justice to the colonization that has happened. So that is what the Orientalism is all about. That is what the post-colonial theory I have told in a nutshell. And if you like this video, do like, share and comment.